Now in movement, when you move, as I was saying, as an offensive player, they want to attack the front foot. The reason being is, in a correct defensive movement, as you open up to guard the defense, to guard the offensive player going to your right, to his left, you have to pivot. You have to pick up this foot, pivot, drop step, and then slide. Keeping your defensive stance, keeping your balance, keeping your butt parallel to the floor, staying in a low position so you can move a lot quicker. Once you come out of your position and stand up, you got to go back down here before you move again. So most defensive coaches try to get you in a nice little balance where your butt is parallel to the floor and you're on the balls of your feet. Your hands are mirroring the basketball, your left is here flicking at the basketball. When you open up, you stay in that stance, step and slide. That's step and slide. That is the way you try to maintain a certain defensive position against an offensive player. Once you come out of that position, you're in a very vulnerable position because now you got to get back into that position and then react to the offensive player. Now you see why it's a lot of work. And no one likes to do it, but yet, if you're going to be a complete basketball player, you got to be able to play both ends. And in playing both ends, you can't just score, you got to be able to play defense as well. Now, I'm going to bring my offensive player out here. Now, I'm going to look at his stance. I'm going to look at the way he's positioning the ball. You remember, as an offensive player, I always said you have to protect the basketball. So if he's not protecting the basketball, I can flick at the basketball. So you look for that. Now, if he is protecting the basketball, that means he's pretty good. He knows his offensive moves. He's trying to really dictate what I'm trying to give him or force him to go. Well, as a defensive player, I'm trying to take away his options. So I'm going to step up, mirror the basketball, limit his options, force him to go one way. That way I can slide a lot easier going this way if I can feel I can influence the offensive player to go this way and keep him going that way, and then I'm more or less guarding the player, guarding the offensive player. If I can do that, my job is done. If I can limit his options. Now, if he's a good offensive player, he wants to maximize his options. He may want to attack this front foot, which in essence now, if he comes this way, I got to drop step, slide, not coming out of my defensive stance because now I'm giving him the advantage because I got to get back in my stance to slow him down and get back in front of him. So, as a defensive player, you got to work hard. You got to work hard to take away his options and limit his options. But at the same time, when he attacks you, you have to be in a good enough position to play good, solid defense. You should never come out of your stance. You should always be in your stance on the ball of your feet. Hands are very active, moving, trying to limit his passing, trying to aggravate him as an offensive player, create mistakes if he can make mistakes. If he's not really good, sound offensive player, he's going to give you some options to attack him from. You just have to pick those options carefully. And not with your hands, not with poor defensive stances, but with adequate and certain fundamentals as a defensive player. So if I'm playing him, and I'm moving, I'm stepping and sliding, I'm sliding, using my body, using my slide, standing in front of him, trying to contend his offensive capabilities. And then when he starts going different directions, I'm still stepping and sliding. Still stepping and sliding. I'm always balanced. I'm always on the ball of my feet. All right? Takes a lot of work. No one says it's going to be easy, but to be a complete basketball player, you got to be able to play defense as well.